So this is the last video in this series for this worksheets. So with this one, basically what I'm doing is just like I did with all the other techniques. So I did my value scales using my technique and my chosen color scheme, applied it to the value scale and applied it to the spheres. Same thing here and here. So I'm going to do the same thing here, and then I'm going to apply my cross-hatching, which is the technique that I chose, and the tetradic color scheme to the sphere. However, I am going to do something a little bit different with this one because I figured that every time I get an opportunity to experiment with something and practice something, I'm going to jump at that opportunity. So I chose red, and since I have red, green is its complement, so that's part of the tetradic color scheme. I had options. I decided to go with my blue and orange. Okay, oops, that's on the wrong side. There we go. I went with my blue and my orange as my support colors instead of my violet and yellow. So what I'm going to do for the sphere, though, is I'm actually going to use the other pairs. Okay, wow, yeah, I know I'm getting crazy here, right? But like I said, this is an opportunity for me to practice something. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so the first thing I do is I'm going to start once again with my color. And I'm coming in here, I'm going to grab my red. Okay, and I'm going to, just like with my other techniques, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down some base color. So again, one thing that I want to make sure that you understand is I am looking at my sphere. I'm looking at my example here. So I am not just making this stuff up, right? Even though I've done this for a long time, I still look at my reference image. Okay, so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to be adding some of the red. Again, this is crosshatch, and I chose this technique because I'm not very good at it. I feel that I could be better. So there we go. So there's my red. That's a little messier than usual, but that's okay. So now, since I have these colors that I'm using, I'm going to choose which ones I want to be my secondary supports. So this is going to be my primary support, and this is going to be my secondary support. I know, that's weird, right? That's what I'm going to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start in here, paying attention to the contour, the curvature of the shadow. And I come in here, and I'm going to start basically kind of like a line proximity or hatching, and then I go opposite direction in here. Okay, and yeah, you could go more than two directions with the crosshatch. You can notice what I've done in there. Now I'm going to come back in here with the red. Okay, and I'm creating texture and value in this sphere by cross-hatching and using a tetradic color scheme. Now remember, with the value scale, one of the reasons why we're using two colors to help darken the main color is because it wasn't going dark enough. So when I just add violet to the red, it becomes red-violet. Well, I'm going to want to make it darker, so I'm actually going to add red's complement, which is part of my tetradic color scheme. So it's not just an arbitrary color, and I'm going to add this into the core of the shadow in here. Again, still using the crosshatch technique, so it's not like I'm abandoning that. I'm sticking to the color scheme of tetradic. All right, so that's pretty good. So you're going to notice that this is actually going to get considerably darker now than I did before. And you can see how it's getting darker, right? And I'm retaining my my texture. You can see that definitely in the shadow, right? You could definitely see the difference. Okay, you can see how it is definitely different than rendering and modeling. Okay, that's the point. And actually, when you look at the other crosshatch one I've done, I think I'm on the right track. So good. Now I'm going to jump over to the highlight, and once again, I start right in here. Going to come around. The marks don't have to be that long. That's where I think some people get a little confused. Right? You get the idea. So I'm going to keep going here while you start on yours. I'm going to finish mine up. I'm going to add some more red into here. I'm going to start to blend into the highlight. Then I'm going to go a little bit darker in here with the shadow, and I'm going to keep on adding things, and then I'm going to go into my cast shadow. All right? Okay, you get the idea. Finish strong. Ask questions as you have them.